show pep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
You find this funny, Mr. Groh? You're smiling. Do you find this humorous? No, they're not. Do you find this humorous, Mr. Groh? You're laughing and smiling. I'm just wondering if you do. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Groh. Do you find this humorous?
No, I find it even with 4 years.
At least you're not smiling and laughing now. Oh, I guess you're back at it again now.
I'm always hesitant to believe what I read. You know what I mean? I think that still it comes down to society. Many times people are forced to believe what they read, and many times what you read might or may not be true.
We are gonna win this election for Paul Wellstone. We are gonna win this election for Paul Wellstone. We are gonna win this election for Paul Wellstone.
You guys are going to criticize whatever you want to criticize.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Stan Barrero.
How about a beer?
I don't want to sound like I made no mistakes. I'm confident I have. You put me under the spot here, and maybe I'm not as quick on my feet as I should be.
Good riddance.
That sounds like a heck of a radio show. I might want to listen.
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
Which is about the same as the host.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
I am the common man, Dan Cole, and if I'm not the common man, Dan Cole, why do I look like me? I am what I am, and that's all that I am, but if I was supposed to be somebody else, why would I look like me? The Grum coming your way in 5, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon, and Akadak, Norman, BCM, cold, dead, rigor mortis laden. Plenty to get to today. They're gone. They're fleeing 600 First Avenue by the droves. Ohtani goes downtowny, and the Twins lose last night. No word from the Eastern Front yet. The Wild plotting their strategies, wondering what to do. World Cup mania strikes all across the country, including Deuce, who's driving to Kansas City to watch Tunisia take on the Netherlands. And speaking of Deuce, he has a personal best at Grandma's Marathon. With those and so many other topics to get to, let's spin the wheel of topics.
Commons golf game.
Oh. What'd you shoot today?
A 78.
Where'd we play?
A Prestwick at Wedgwood in Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on 1?
Oh, hold on. You got to ask that question again. I forgot to ask that question again.
Where'd you hit it on 1?
I didn't hit it right up the gut for the first time ever.
Right or left?
Right.
How far from the green?
I still had 167 yards. I hadn't played in 3 days. Think if you hadn't played in 3 days, that'd be how you'd hit the ball. Of course, sometimes you haven't played in like 3 months. right? But I hit a beautiful. I just dug us, and it's a short hole. I get it. I mean, when you still got 167 on the first hole,
that's not good.
You hit a poor first drive. But I knocked it on the green. Then I bashed it.
What?
Oh, I bashed it 6 feet by, but I made the 6-footer coming back. I went birdie on 9 and 10 to get back to 1, but then I went double on 12 and 13. And the doubles were that. Every time I decide I'm going to really go after this one, and all I do is I just kind of lean my whole body forward, and what does that do? That makes it I don't even think either tee shot the ball struck anywhere on the face. I think it hit the bottom, the sole plate. Wyndham Clark, I was not, but I had fun. I hit knockdown punch cut face. 78's a nice number for me. I'm still transitioning. I think I've mentioned that before. Playing a little white and a little gold, heart of gold, and here we are. Speaking of hearts, I had left mine in San Francisco. I didn't intend to. I just couldn't find it. I also left my brain there and so much more. Debbie, you said you've been to San Francisco before?
Been there once, yes.
Been there once. And was that a long time? Do you have any memories of San Francisco at all?
So I think it was before we had kids.
Okay.
We just went to San Francisco for like a day or two, then went to Napa Valley.
Oh.
But we did all the tourist type of stuff in San Fran. We went to...
Did you go to Alcatraz?
Alcatraz was my favorite. We went to Fisherman. We obviously go to the Golden Gate Bridge. We went across the bridge, Fisherman's Wharf, took a trolley, all the cliched San Francisco stuff.
But I think that's the good thing. I did not do the trolley, but I went to Alcatraz, the Golden Gate Bridge, Fisherman's Wharf. Somebody wrote, there's an author who wrote a book, and the famous line is, how is it? Something about my coldest winter was the summer I spent in San Francisco. On Fisherman's Wharf, I was freezing to death.
Yep.
The wind was blowing 30 miles an hour. It's 60 degrees. It felt like January.
It feels like fall, yeah.
It was really, really cold.
You got to layer up there.
Yeah, there's no question. We went to the Muir Woods, too. Muir Woods, the redwoods, astonishing. I don't even know if I believe what they said. They have like the stump of a tree, right? A section of it. It's got, how you count all the lines, you can tell how old the tree is, the rings in the trees. It says, well, most of these trees first started growing in 30 AD, and then they die like millions of years later. I don't know if I believe it. I guess I have to, though. I don't know why they'd make it up. There's no reason for them to do it. But, and did you go to...
Do we even know if that's really the right way to count the age of trees?
That's it. I don't know.
It's like when they tell you what a dog's thinking.
Yeah.
When they make this motion, this is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
And how, human years, a human year is 7 years in dog life, or no, is it 1 human year is like 7 years in dog life? Well, okay, I don't know. So if your dog lives to 20, does that mean he's really like, 140 years old? I don't believe that either, but, I don't know if I would ever want to live there. I went over to Sausalito, and of course, my wife and baby brother Peter were a bit annoyed. Well, I annoy everybody all the time because I had to play Sausalito Summer Nights as we crossed the border. Dun, 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 Sausalito Summer Nights. Then I had to play, when we went to Tiburon, I had to play Van Morrison's song in Tiburon. So I did that. I could live in Sausalito. Did you get over to Sausalito, across the Golden Gate? Sausalito's, I would call.
I think we had like lunch there one day.
Why? Yeah, that's all we did too. We went to Napa Burger Joint. It's like the Edina or Wayzata of San Francisco. It's where the beautiful people live. I was looking at some of the prices, and you can get it. You can get a 780 square foot home tenant there for about $500,000. And it said most of the homes in Sausalito and not most, but many of them, the nicer ones, they got that oceanfront view. We're talking anywhere from 3 to 5 to upwards of $20 to $30 million. It's just a little bit out of my price range. So I'll have to pass on that. The craziest thing, and I was going to do it, I was even going to do a video for digital, but it just didn't work out. The Waymos. You know what a Waymo is, right?
I don't know if I do know what a Waymo is.
A Waymo is it
like the robotic car, basically?
Yeah, the Uber without anybody behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's weird looking. You're driving down, you look over, you're at a stop sign, you look over, and there it is. There's the car, there's nobody behind the wheel. So I guess the good thing about Waymo is you don't have to tip anybody, right? It's like there's nobody there to tip. They call them a Waymo, W-A-A-Y-M-O or W-A-Y-Y-M-O, something like that. And I know why, because they cost Waymo to get into. And they look like they're way more dangerous to me, but they tend to be, you talk about obeying the traffic laws. I mean, they're all Jaguars. Did you know that? They're Jaguars.
Really?
Yeah. They cost, I'm told, like if your Uber ride is $25, $30, I think for Waymo it's like $50. It's almost double or twice as much. Maybe not quite. We took one Uber. You walk everywhere in San Francisco. I must have put on, there was one day we walked 6, 8, 10 miles. Because, let's walk to the restaurant. Oh, it's only 25 minutes, then 25 minutes back. And then you might go to the next place, might be 28 minutes. Because for the Alcatraz tour, we walked from the hotel in downtown San Francisco, we walked to Pier 33. So Pier 33 or Pier 39, whichever one it was to catch the boat to go out to Alcatraz. I was almost afraid to go to Alcatraz in case they had my mugshot there. What if they would have kept me? Alcatraz is pretty cool. There's no question. So, yeah, but it's...
The only thing that would bother me about the Waymo is, can you give it, like, instructions at all that are different, right? Like, how many times have you been watching a movie and they're like, follow that car and step on it?
Right.
Like, you wouldn't be able to do that in a Waymo.
I don't think you can. And like I say, I took one Uber, and I asked Uber guy about it. He said it cuts their business by 30%. A regular Uber driver.
Sure.
They're not big fans of Waymos. And he said that there are 700 Waymos. 100 in San Francisco. So that's Baby Brother Peter says he's doing this investment banking thing, and the big shots, that's all they take is Waymos.
Sure.
All the time. Pete walks. Do you know what? I can't believe that he would walk home from work sometimes. It's straight uphill, like climbing up Mount Everest for blocks and blocks and blocks. It's a crazy place to drive and live, but to each his own. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We got Peek at the Purple to get to and many other topics as well here on the Coming Back program on the Fan.
Become a champion for the first time. Will the Broad Squad go back-to-back? Find out Friday at 1:30 p.m. as Common and Corey Cove take
Looking to score tickets to the biggest games and concerts in town? From Santana, the Doobie Brothers, 311, Snoop Dogg, and more. Your chance to win is waiting. Enter now at KFAN.com, keyword contest.
Double 13, 14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to be. I don't even know. I've seen nothing since I've left Purple related. Is there anything we can use for Peek at the Purple, or should we do Whiff of the Wild? Because there's plenty going on with the Wild. Either way,
probably the Wolves is what's most going on. But yeah,
Whiff of the Wild or Peek at the Purple, if 10 to be finds anything Purple related, is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. When the temps start to climb like they are today, and then your air conditioner works OT, so does your electrical panel. If your breakers trip, man, when the AC kicks on or your lights dim during peak heat, your system may be overloaded. Affordable Electric handles panel upgrades, dedicated circuits, and troubleshooting to keep your home running safely all summer long. 612-331-VOLT or visit affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, they are shockingly affordable. Well, I tell you what, Tennessee, the comings and goings, there's more goings and comings with the Minnesota Timberwolves. First is Julius Randle traded in a blockbuster. Monday night, they trade him to the Brooklyn Nets in a 3-team trade that also involved the Chicago Bulls, and that sets up they want to get Io, right? They're going to use the money.
They did, yeah.
They did do that. That is official now. So they're giving Io the dough that he wants.
I don't know if it's official, but it was reported that 5 years, $120 $112 million, I believe. 22 million, something like that.
Yeah, but 112. I tell people this all the time. That's really more like about 65 million. And then after taxes, and then of course, he's going to buy his mom a house. He's going to buy a car. And then you're going to spend, save, invest, use, flaunt.
We had a new one of those over the weekend, by the way. I played on the 10 at Fitzgerald.
Oh, did you really?
More audio of an athlete talking about
how difficult it is to make ends meet.
Basically, like, people don't understand how much money gets taken out of their salary.
Well, can you play it for me now? I'd love to hear it, and then I'll try to memorize the.
It's very similar to the OBJ one, even longer.
Who is this?
It's Jay Will. Apparently.
Who's Jay Will?
Hold on.
Sounds like he's a rapper.
No, he's a former NBA player.
Oh, never heard of him. Well, he's got a new name.
I think the Will is actually short for Williams.
Oh, okay. Jay Will.
Max knew who he was yesterday when we talked about it.
Jay Will.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lou Will.
Lou Will. Yeah. Now, of course, everybody knows Lou Will.
So Lou Will, of course, these are always on podcasts.
Sure.
And he was asked by the host, basically, the average NBA player goes broke. Why is that?
Okay.
So the average NBA player plays for 4 years, and then the following 5 years, they go broke.
Easy numbers game, bro.
Yeah.
Easy numbers game. I do it like this. You make $5 million, 2.5 of that gone. You got agent fees, probably another 50 of that gone. You got your dues. A lot of people don't know we got dues for the NBPA. So you got dues. So everybody put their money in the pot. So you figure you got 450 NBA players. I think the dues is 15 to 20 grand a year. Everybody put it in the pot. That's how we able to get our health care and all of that type of
Know that.
Yeah, you got dues. Then you got your personal staff. Right. So I'm talking about just the staff of financial advisor. That's probably 1%. Agent at a high number is gonna get 4%.
Right.
But you can negotiate from 1 to 4.
Okay.
So before you look up, you probably at 1.5 million off of 5 with nothing. Damn. And these Benzes that we keep talking about in these mansions and these girlfriends and these Chanel bags. Before Chanel you know it, you not a millionaire no more.
Right.
You a high thousandaire. On paper, you can tell I'm a millionaire.
Right.
In real life, a lot of that pie gone.
A lot of that pie gone. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, blueberry pie, pecan pie, banana cream pie, French silk pie, all those different kind of pies. They ain't pie anymore. It's just a slice. Most people I think most people, when they slice a pie, it's 8 pieces, right? He just named off about 8 pieces. How do they do it, man? Now I feel bad for them. We should start up a collection for these guys. Your financial advisor's ripping you off. If you're broke, you got the wrong guy advising you. I got advice for you. Don't spend and flaunt. And don't buy your gal a Chanel bag.
Well, that was my point yesterday, was the financial advisors there to make you more money.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go broke with the financial advisor helping you out.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
And I also love that the $15,000, $20,000 for dues.
Yeah.
That go to for like health care.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we all have money taken out of our paycheck for health care.
Well, yeah, of course we do. He just doesn't, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he lives in a, because there are some countries where, he's in Canada, isn't it? Don't they have universal health care?
Yeah.
Maybe he thought he would, maybe if you're playing in Canada.
You play for Toronto?
If you play for, not Toronto, technically we learned from a guy from Canada, if you're a native, you just say Toronto. You drop the last T. That's the guy told me in the clubhouse. He said, it's Toronto. Yeah, I mean, that's trouble. So then now Micah Nori left as well, right?
Yes, he just got hired by the Portland Trailblazers today.
Longtime assistant coach with the Wolves, very highly regarded. The handful of times that Finchie got booted from the game, he would take over. And, I remember hearing...
Or when he had that bum leg in the playoffs a couple years ago, remember?
That's right. He had the bum leg in the playoffs. He had to sit up in the the third row. I don't know where I heard it. It might have been from Jim Pete during a broadcast or from someone. Maybe it was several. He wouldn't be the only one. Maybe it was written about in the Fish Wrap West and in the Athletic, where it seemed like it was just a matter of time before Micah Nori got a head coaching job somewhere. He's very highly thought of. Players love him. Everybody does. Portland, they signed him to a 1-year deal with a 2-year option for the club.
A little bizarre.
Yeah, and I think there are people that go, Portland probably. Who's their owner? I've heard he's like maybe kind of a little bit crazy, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm just in talking to people and reading things, and Portland hasn't really been the best run franchise in a long time. And I think there were some people that go, well, that's not much of a deal. But if Tenneby, you know how it is. It's like, I'll give you an example. And I don't like to talk about myself.
They're owned by Tom Dundon.
Yeah. What do we know about Tom?
I remember, I think he's notorious for being very cheap.
Okay, that's what it is.
Or like not going to give them certain amenities at hotels on the road and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we had that story, right. Yeah, they have to, they stay at Motel 6 when they're on the road. They don't stay at the Four Seasons like Rosie does. They stay at Motel. I think every once in a while, just for a treat, he upgrades them to Motel 8. Now, Motel 6 keeps the light on for you, but they don't at Motel 8. So, yeah, he is known. So I'm assuming that's, I don't know what the pay is, if it's been reported, what Micah's making. But I would say it's probably not it's not a boatload of money.
And just a 1-year commitment.
And just a 1-year commitment. And there are those that would say, that's not a very good, of all the head coaching jobs in the NBA, it's probably the least desirable, especially when it's 1 year. But, when you're looking to get your foot in the door, because if you're brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Then you'll get your extension or you'll be highly coveted by someone else later. So you take what you can get. It's like Tenneby. I don't like to talk about myself or use myself as an example or an analogy, but I'm going to make an exception here. I'll recant the tale on the other side of the break. Let's take a break. I'll recant the tale. I'll tell you why it's a good deal for Micah. And I think after you hear my story, most people would agree, even if they already agreed, even before I told my tall tale. We'll do that. There is plenty more to get to here on the Common Man program, believe it or not. We'll do that next. It's the Common Man program along with Tenneby right here on the Fan.
The Common Man.
I'm so glad you're back. I missed
from KFAN each weekday through July 3rd. Listen for your shot at your share with $2,500. Enter the keyword at KFAN.com beginning at 8 a.m. and make your dream American trip a reality.
Couple 13-14 pastime. Common. He is Tenneby. The last week, I played golf with three gents. They had bid on me at a silent auction for an organization called We Saw the Light. It's a Minnesota-based nonprofit that supports families who have recently lost a loved one to suicide. It provides safe, non-judgmental resources and small gifts to help grieving families navigate what would be described as a debilitating first-year shock and unknown emotions. They offer a safe community and direct families to essential mental health and bereavement tools. So it's a nonprofit. It's Minnesota-based, and obviously it's for a really good cause. So we had fun, and if you want to know more, just go to We Saw the Light. I think you can just go WeSawTheLight.com or just Google it and it'll pop up. That's what I did to get I wanted to give you the ins and outs of what they do. Also, Tenneby, this will be the second or third year that I promoted Hometown Bats. It's the 10th annual Home Run Derby benefiting Jacob Kirchner. It'll be at the Union Hill Ballpark in New Prague. Jacob is a 14-year-old that has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. That was at age 7. DMD is a rare genetic disorder in which the body does not produce dystrophin. And I don't know if that's dystrophin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's a protein essential for muscle stabilization and maintenance. Over time, muscles continue to break down to the point of ineffectiveness. Since his diagnosis, Jacobs will receive weekly infusions lasting about 45 minutes each to slow DMD's progression, but there is no cure. So donations accepted via Venmo, mail, or dropped at First Bank and Trust in New Prague. If you want a Venmo, it's at Hometown Bats Derby. You can make checks payable to Hometown Bats Foundation. There'll be food, drinks, kids' games, and that's the 27th, which would be It'll be the Saturday. And that'll be at 6 p.m. at Union Hill Ballpark in New Prague. So tend to be, some people might say, well, Micah, you might want to make for a better offer. You're probably getting rock bottom money from the whatever Dundon's name is, guy that owns a place. And, 1 year deal, probably rock bottom money, 2 year option. But I'll never, I'm sure I've recanted this tale before. Well, I know I have. Mark Ginther was the program director who hired me all those years ago. And I said, when are you going to give me a chance to have a full-time show? He said, if you want a full-time talk show, it's never going to happen here. You might want to think about it. I know they got a sports talk up in Fargo. You might want to apply up there somewhere. It's just not going to happen here. So now I'm crestfallen, heartbroken. I don't want to sit there and run the board for the Chad and Barrera. I mean, I don't know how you've lasted as long as you have running the board for me to be producing the show. How have you done it? Because with the Chad and Barrera show, I had to get out after 5 years. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. And
maybe the lack of other options.
Well,
might be why I'm still here.
That's probably it, right? I mean, and laboratory test animals probably not real attractive to you right now, right? Because you qualify.
Well, that might actually just sound appealing.
So I call Brown Institute, which is now defunct. I talked to Cronforce. He's the placement guy. They got permanent lifetime placement. Of course, they don't anymore now because they're out of business. Hey, I'm looking for work. Nothing's going to happen here at the Fan. My gal lives in St. Cloud. Can you find me a DJ job up there? And I prefer a programming job. And I've programmed 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4 radio stations. He said, I'll look into it. 2 weeks later, Ginther goes, we're going to give you 2 weeks and see how it works. So they give me 2 weeks. After that, he says, we like what we heard. We're going to give you a 1 year deal, $24,000 a year, no negotiation. I took it. I was Micah Nori. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
If I say no, well, then I'll never be considered again, I'm sure. And now look at me now. Now I'm making $34,000 a year. And it's worked out just fine.
The dollar amount I was offered the first time I was offered this job, I was alarmed by the number.
You were alarmed by it?
Yeah. I wasn't going to say no.
Right. Exactly. Same thing. You're not going to say no when it's something that you're, especially like there's not a lot of jobs like yours out there, probably for good reason. No, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, talk show hosts, we're the only sports talk that does live right? KSTP doesn't do it anymore, right? They do just,
not live and local.
Yeah,
no.
They don't do live, but they do podcasts or something like that. And if they do national, so we're the only one. So how many jobs are there? There's
4 shows.
There's 4 shows. There's 3 guys in the morning, and then 1 and 1 with a sidekick. They're just those jobs aren't.
They're not handing them out at Home Depot.
No, they're not.
No,
not like MVP awards in the NBA. So you take what it is. That's why Micah Nori took it. My guess he'll do well. Another guy that'll leave and win a world championship before we do. Right? How many times does that happen? Forget just players. Tony Dungy, he left. He won a world championship. Brian Billick, he left and won a world championship. Anybody else leave and win a world championship as far as coaching staff goes? I'm trying to think. Anybody?
Billick, Tomlin, Dungy.
Yeah, Tomlin, Dungy. Tomlin, too. So that's 3 that have worked here. 3 for sure that I know of. And there might be more. There might be a guy that was a quarterback coach here or a running backs coach or linebacker coach went on and had the same role at another place and won one. But, of the big time jobs, they do. We already put a list together of all the players. After Big Meow, a Bodega Cat won his title, then we talked about all the other players that have left and won titles elsewhere. And it happens. This isn't the only town it's happened in. Just seems to hurt a little more here because we have so few world championships. So, I don't. Where do the Wolves go from here? So they sign Io, right? That's what they're going to sign. So he's not replacing, right? Is Naz Reid? Is that what I read? They think Naz Reid becomes a starter now?
Yes, for the first time in his career. Yeah, right now, unless they make ensuing moves, which I think when the trade happened last night, that was the first instinct was, they're going to use this mid-level exception, use this extra money they have now to do something else. But I've already seen, like the John Krasinski's of the world even kind of tamper that down a little bit. Now it just looks as like they're trying to do the old addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
That the team was moody. Julius was maybe the moody. And, Julius, he had his moments here. 2 years ago in the playoffs, he played very well.
He was really good.
He did seem to not really fit with the style of play that was being deployed here.
Yeah.
In terms of, he's He's a one-on-one guy. You give him the ball, the top of the key or, in the paint, in the post, and everyone just goes aside and goes one-on-one. He wasn't like the ball would get sticky with him.
I know I had a number of detractors, critics, naysayers, people that disagreed with me. I think I'm in the minority. Might even be the vast minority that I think trading Bodega Cat was a mistake. And the comeback from people is, well, they really had no choice because somebody had to go because of the max contracts and the second apron. But that's what your general manager is there for. He's there to try. It's his job to figure out a way to keep the best players and stay below the salary cap. They could have done other things. That may have included getting rid of Jade McDaniels and maybe Naz Reid. They could have kept Bodega Cat had they wanted to. Now, again, people will say that's hindsight. It wasn't. I was... Speaking of being alarmed, I was alarmed that they traded Bodega Cat. I thought he was the heart and soul of the club. I think he and Ant made a good combination together. I think they were. You even heard Bodega after in his post game. He did a shout out to Ant and all the other players that helped him get to where he was. But that trade now, for all the really good moves, and in some cases great moves that Connolly has done in his two stops. Did he put a team together before Denver, or was Denver his first where he actually put a team together and won a championship, right?
I believe Denver was the first.
Okay, and he did a great job. I mean, and that's why he was highly regarded. That's why Laurie and Rodriguez went after him, because they said this guy knows how to put together a winning team. And look, that trade for Gobert, it certainly helped the club. I mean, the club hadn't been out of the first round of the playoffs in what, since 2003? That's decades, folks. That's a couple of decades plus. And with the acquisition of Gobert, and I don't remember, there were other key pieces, and some of those pieces have gone, but others have stayed. And they got to the Western Conference Finals. Then, as they were ready to try to take that next step, 3 days before training camp, they traded Bodega Cat and brought in Julius Randle and DiVincenzo. And we don't, the thing is, Stan, we will never know. That's why you can talk about this all you want. But what if DiVincenzo wouldn't have got hurt in that game? Well, if he wouldn't have, yeah, but he did. And so we don't know. And maybe that would have made it better. And, I bought into the Randle stuff. They did that piece on him in the Fish Wrap West. I've alluded to it a couple of times, where he said he's really found a peace with himself and the way he warms up for games and the things he does and loves it here. And I thought, okay. Maybe Randall's blossoming and going to become even better than he'd already showed, and obviously it didn't work out that way for him. But I don't know if there's more moves in the offing. I mean, they made this move partly because Randle was ineffective and because he was making a boatload of money. So now they give a lot of that money to Ayo, and Naz will start now, and are they going to play Bear and Jay? I don't know where Gobert. Does he go Bear anywhere? I don't. I
thought at least one of the two might get moved. So yeah. I guess I'd still be a little surprised if both got moved. But to your point, if Berenger is ready, he's kind of the Gobert replacement eventually.
Yeah, and maybe they figure he still needs some more seasoning, and that goes back to and I don't think the Wolves are the only team to do this. Tibbs was infamous for it, where they just play 8 guys, maybe 9, and they just don't use the bench at all. And so these guys that you've drafted, I don't see how you can get better just sitting on the bench watching, and especially with a team like the Wolves where they don't even take the regular season seriously. Why wouldn't you play some of those guys? You have players that they've publicly said they don't care about the regular season. And, now, after what the New York Knickerbockers did, look at the Knickerbockers had, how many games did they win? They didn't have a great regular season record. It was good. It was
good
for the third seed, but it wasn't this spectacular. And they don't have a superstar player, but they just had guys that they worked well together. Everybody knew their role. Brunson was brilliant when he had to be, a guy that I'm sure plays with a chip on his shoulder. Hey, you're only 6'2". Remember that Becky Hammond, I think, the WNBA gal that said, well, they don't have a number 1. And then, it's kind of become urban legend. It wasn't, it's true. And then the Perkins guy, Cat Perkins, is it Cat Perkins?
Kendrick.
No, Kendrick. Cat Perkins is, I think,
she's a local singer.
A local singer. So, Kendrick said, well, they have a number 1 in Brunson. She said he's too short, too small. Well, look at him now. So, but as long as you have players that have said, well, they don't really want, I know I bring this quote up often, but my jaw dropped when Ant, a week into the season, said, just doesn't seem like we want to play these regular season games. And I understand it. You know what it takes. It's a grind, I guess, 82 games with, if you call it that, a grind over 6 months, working 82 nights out of 6 months. How many days in 6 months? What's half of 365? I can't do it.
182 and a half.
So let's say and you play 82 games? You're not working that much. It's a part-time job. It's a part-time job being an NBA player. Being any of these, it's part-time. Now, when you work, it's full-time, I guess, because there is travel. If you want to say travel is really difficult, that's great. All I know is I traveled from Minneapolis to San Francisco, and I played Presidio. I started out, so I got there on a Thursday night, played Saturday morning. Maybe I was enough time to acclimate, 10B. First hole, I make a triple bogey. So, no! 18 times 3 is what?
54.
So what's 72 plus 54?
126.
I was on pace to shoot 126. Next thing you know, I birdie 8 4-wood from 185 uphill to 6 feet, make the putt.
We're coming.
Bury a 20-foot birdie putt on 9. Now I go to +3. So I'm 3 over through 1. I'm 3 over through 9. Get to 10, par 5. And 18, big fairway, 18's over on the right, big fairway, rough, couple of trees separated, right? I kind of hang on to the drive. It's cutting right. I see it hit the right edge of the cart path, so on, because 10 and 18 are running side by side, parallel, right? 18 goes out, or 10 goes out, 18 comes back in. I see it hit the right edge of the cart path, and it ricochets 90 degrees right like a rocket. I go up there, I can't find the golf ball. It's nowhere to be found. Now the group behind us we're the first group out, 6 a.m. You know how much time they give you to play Presidio? 4:40.
That's a long time.
It's way too long to be honest. We played in 4 hours. We were the first group out. 2 guys walking, a couple of investment banker types. Pete and I took a cart. But anyway, so then I got to.
Is Presidio one of those courses you have caddies and you're walking?
No.
Okay.
No. It was $1.50. But the guy behind the desk gave me the San Francisco senior rate. I charmed him a little bit, and he gave me the San Francisco $94 for the round of golf. BBP was $1.50. Well, it was free for him. No, $1.50 for me, and. So then I have to go back and re-tee, and the group behind me, I go, dude, I can't find my ball. I won't take long. I hit another drive right, but I find it in the rough. Play it out, make a double there. I top my next one, make a triple. Boy, bit lack of interest, ball in pocket. I shoot 39 in the front, 48 on the back for an 87, right? As I'm coming down 18, I notice my vomit ball. It's one of those tailor-mades that's got the ink spots. Have you seen an ink spot golf ball?
Sure, yeah.
So I see blue, and I go, there's my black and blue ink spot ball. It's right over on the edge of the property, still in play in the rough. And I would have been able to play that ball, but I didn't think it could have possibly have gone that far right. But it did. It just ricocheted. It all came from, but it goes to show you for 9 holes, maybe the jet lag caught up to me after 9. Maybe that's what happened. But I've never believed in the jet lag and circadian rhythms. And I mean, what's the elevation in San Francisco? We're 847 here in Minneapolis. I think we're about 847 feet above sea level. Are they below sea level in San Francisco?
They're literally connected to the sea, so
they're probably at sea level.
Yeah.
Now Presidio was a little bit higher up.
Elevated,
everything's higher up.
Sure.
Debbie, you've seen it. Sometimes you feel like you're driving straight up in the air. It's like you're a rocket ship taking off. You're at a 45-degree angle. You ever drive down Lombard Street?
Yes.
Lombard's the coolest thing. So I go to the very top of it. It's a 1 block, but it just goes like this and twists and turns and twists and turns. People, how does somebody buy a house? There's like 4 houses on each side of Lombard Street. I wonder if they ever come up for sale, because it's a famous place and there's always traffic. I don't know if that'd be a good place to live or not, because it's a tourist trap. Everybody's up there. Everybody wants to drive down Lombard Street. Everyone wants to take a picture of Lombard Street, which I did. I went to Haight-Ashbury, too. That was the highlight of the trip for me. You know, a couple of people that texted me when I said I was going there, they kind of downplayed it and said, well, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. They just have, a handful of T-shirt shops, and that's basically. And then really, you know what? That is what it's come to. I mean, there's a lot of old hippies there, and I don't even think it was people that there's no way they were hippies that were there in the Summer of Love in 1967. I think it's people that just felt a kinship with that wanted to be a part of that, but they were just too young, and so they migrated to San Francisco to try to become a Haight-Ashbury acolyte. Is that the right word? Can you look up the word?
I don't know what acolyte means.
Can you look up acolyte? ACOLYTE? ACC? Ever been to the CC Tap? Down on Hennepin Avenue in 26.
Well, there's no audio for acolyte. That's disappointing. An altar attendant in public worship, a member of the highest ranking in the 4 minor orders, or any attendant, assistant, or follower.
Yeah, so they were acolytes of the Haight-Ashbury days. They wanted to be like Janis Joplin, like Jim Morrison, like Jimi Hendrix. They wanted to be like those people. They wanted to go ask Alice when she was 10 feet tall and be like the Jefferson Starship and the Grateful Dead and all of those people, right? So there were some of those there. I mean, there is you can feel it if you understand the hippie era and the Summer of Love. This is going to sound ridiculous. I could feel it. I could feel a kinship with it because I was on the tail end of that hippie days. I could live down in Haight-Ashbury. And I went to Flippin' Burgers, and they're flipping good. I mean, the burgers were just out of this world. And so I went to a couple of the shops and talked to some of the people. I don't know if you saw my tweet on the corner of Haight and Ashbury. I have my Ohio State bandana on, and you can see I have flowers in my hair. I bought flowers. They said, if you are going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. And I did.
You're a good listener.
I am a good listener.
You're a rule follower.
I'm a rule follower. And I will tell you, I thought my wife and I would be there for 10 minutes. We spent about 3 hours there, walking up and down the streets, looking through the shops, bought a couple of souvenirs. They had some counterculture museum where you pay $10 and it looked like it was about the size of a phone booth. So I thought I just don't need it. I've lived that counterculture era myself, so I didn't need to do it. But it was, I don't know if I could ever live there, but I certainly enjoyed the visit. How did we get on San Francisco and what were we talking about?
Well, I started talking about your golf game. Something about your golf round was being compared to... NBA players and being tuckered. And that started when we were talking about Randle and all those guys. I don't know, Tenby, we know Guerin's he's going to pull a whopper. You just know he's going. And I think it's probably, do we think it's going to be the Larkin guy? Well, it sounds like he was in on Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk got moved yesterday. It sounds like the Wild made a very strong offer.
Okay.
And Micah Russo even insinuated that they made a better offer, a more stronger offer than Florida, but ultimately Brady he had control. He just wanted to go play with his brother.
You got nominated for a PST while I was gone.
Did I?
Yeah, when you said, if Hughes wants to win a cup, this is the place to do it. Did you say those exact words or somebody?
I don't know if I use that exact words. I probably paraphrase people get concerned about athletes wanting to leave Minnesota. And I was just saying, Minnesota is a good spot for Quinn Hughes.
Right.
Right. Like a guy like that wants to win. And, even as I was with Gorg at the time, even Gorg mentioned, hey, the Wild are like the 5th favorite to win the Stanley Cup next year. And that's without even having made any additional moves. So it is a place. I know historically it's not a place you can win, but it's a place now that that NHL players look at, hey, they have a chance to win.
Right.
So there's only, of the 32 teams, you can eliminate 22 of them off the bat for a place that Quinn Hughes would want to go to. And then on top of that, a team that can also pay you, a team that has a slot open for you to be the number one defenseman, number one power. Like your Colorado Avalanches of the world are Stanley Cup contenders, but they already have a Cale Makar there. So are they going to go out and, find another number one defenseman to put in their spot? A Quinn Hughes isn't going to be in the same spot on the power play anymore. So the role, the fit, the money, a team that can win, a place that has a good hockey culture. It's also closer to his home. He's from Michigan. It's closer than where he was before. to me, there's a lot of good things in Minnesota.
I think Billy Guerin will. I'm assuming he's going to pull some kind of I don't know. When I say blockbuster, I don't know if he's going to, is Larkin considered a blockbuster?
I'd say it's a blockbuster,
okay.
Yeah.
So it might not be Larkin. It might be like maybe a notch or two below that. You'd have to tell me what would be a notch or two below, what would be a notch or two above.
If you don't do Larkin, I would almost just sit on my hands for a little bit and save my resources for another day.
Someone sent a text to the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text, and I says, John from Hastings says, rumor has that Larkin only wants to play for Dallas now. Is that true? Have you heard that?
I have not seen that or heard that.
We'll dig around and see if we can, we'll sniff around. We'll do some digging. Put our ear to the railroad tracks and see if we can hear that engine coming down the track. And I wonder, and we'll talk about this as the rest of the day goes on, I wonder if there is a blockbuster that Conley can even do now. And it ain't going to be Ante Tecumpo because she is, as a matter of fact, maybe that was going to be part of your 5-3-4.
It might be.
What do you have for us as we go to the break?
Yeah, there's some big changes in professional golf.